What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the F124 Ferrari Driver Career Mode. Yes, we are back here for the round before we head into the summer break here at Belgium. Of course, the circuit Spa-Francorchamps, one of the greatest circuits on the Formula One calendar, an all-time classic, very unique in its structure, and also one of my strongest tracks after coming off that terrible weekend in Hungary. Not only did we qualify down in P17, I think it was, but we also had to retire from the race after struggling in the midfield, the lower midfield. But yeah, our internal combustion engine is what failed last time out, so we've got a brand new one of those ready to go in the car, so that should give us some extra power down the Kemmel Straight heading out of Radion. So we'll see what kind of pace we have in practice. Practice 2. We were fastest in the qualifying simulation program. We were predicted to qualify on pole, and our teammate Charles Leclerc was predicted to qualify second, and he was 0.001 milliseconds off of me. So just a single millisecond separating us two Ferrari drivers, so clearly very close between the two of us. Let's see where we can put this thing going into qualifying.
High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps.
Well, I have to say, this new laser-scanned Spa track on this huge game is really looking good. So I'm just used to taking a wider line there into turn 1, but of course there's the gravels. Now we head up into Eau Rouge, out of Radion, completely flat out, unless we bottom out over the curb there already. Now, DRS wide open on the rear wing as we head down the Kemmel Straight into the Calm Chicane. Try to get it nice and tidy coming out of this section. The car nice and slowed down. So I just seem to want to lock up into that corner in practice a lot. Just through No Name we head. Now all the way down towards Pouan as we drop down the hill. Can we take it flat out? Ooh, just about. Don't think we exceeded track limits there. Didn't give us a warning. So we head through this twisty middle bit. There's no curb here anymore, so can't really take anything like that as we get onto the grass. Now we head out of there, flat out, all the way down the back straight. Now we're going to head toward Blanchimont. Shouldn't have to lift at all through this corner either. Yeah, so much different to last year's game and all the games before it. Now we slam on the brakes going into the bus stop. Now we're going to head out of the final corner, get the throttle planted, DRS open, and that is P2, 2/10 behind our teammate. Q1 Max Verstappen topping the timing sheets at his technical home Grand Prix, of course, being born in Belgium. And then Charles Leclerc, P2, 400s off of him, and then Fernando Alonso clearly showing that he might have some pace in that Aston Martin this weekend, and then we are 4th. We're going to head down. Both Haas's making it through, so good effort from them. Out in Q1, we have Logan Sargent, Ricardo, Sonoda, Bottas, and Zhou. So unfortunate for Sauber and RB. I think RB have really just started to fall off ever since that Monaco weekend. But yeah, let's progress straight on into Q2. Really need to try to get the perfect line through that iconic uphill corner. Whoa! Yep. Oh, man. Okay. So, big mistake from ourselves there. Let's take a look at what happened here. going through the chicane. Yep, just get a little too trigger happy on the throttle. Don't get the steering angle straightened out, and big mistake from us. We're gonna have to do a second run to start our final run, and technically our first run of Q2. I have noticed that the turbocharger is starting to reach a point where we'll have to change it here within the next few races, getting kind of worn, but not something that we should be really worried about. And I figured I might as well just leave it in for the weekend, because with that brand new ICE, internal combustion engine, should about even things out, hopefully. So we're gonna head down the straight, revs just about peaking. And yeah, we definitely have to turn in a lot sooner heading into Lake Com. This year's game, definitely making updates to the track. So I'm just trying not to bottle it here. As long as we can get a good lap hooked in, we should be safely through. Now as we head through Blanchimont, you can just see how dark the clouds are getting and gathering around the circuit. So we're gonna head into the bus stop, just about get the car through there unscathed, and now it's gonna be up across the line, and we're safely through in P3. Well, there you go. Max Verstappen once again topping the timing sheets in the second part of qualifying, and then 5 milliseconds separating myself and our teammate Charles Leclerc. Out in Q2, we have Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hulkenberg, Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, and then Alex Albon in 11th. On the outskirts of the points, looks like Mercedes are really struggling to find the optimum time to get their cars out on the track, and you can just see the clouds are gathering even more now. Since I last mentioned it, there was some rain forecast for Q3. How will that affect our pace? To be more than a banker if we are going to have rain at the end of Q3, because I won't be able to improve. So this could be our one and only shot. We're going to pick up a slipstream here from one of the Mercedes cars ahead. Whoa, a little bit wide into turn 1. Let me see if I can get this car about through a rouge without dropping it. Yeah, there we go. Just got to find the optimal line through there. Now as we head through the final chicane, get the car planted once again up towards the line. And it is only P7. Not, oh, now been down to P8. So not the greatest lap from us. I guess I thought that lap was a little better than that. Team telling me there is no rain forecast though, so clearly must have broken up and gone around us. But we're going to need to get a seriously special Q3 lap hooked up if we want to see the front row. Well, here we go, preparing to start our final run of Q3. This is it. This is where all of our hard work comes to fruition. And Lance Stroll opting to stay in the pit lane, so clearly he doesn't think it's worth wasting another set of softs. So he'll be starting P10 for the Grand Prix. What kind of lap can we get hooked up? We've got a nice clear track ahead of us. Let's see what we can do. What was a little bit scruffy going through Pouan and the rest of the middle sector. But at the moment, we sit P8. And we are about 6/10 up. See if we can gain anything through the bus stop chicane. Yeah, we gain about a 10th. Where will that put us? At the end of qualifying, we improved by quite a bit, and it's second place. We will absolutely take a front row start. We're back up the grid.
With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Well, I hope Crofty is right. Max Verstappen on pole position from ourselves, and then Charles Leclerc less than a 10th behind. Very, very close between the two Ferrari drivers this weekend. Then comes George Russell finding some pace in that Mercedes car, out-qualifying Sergio Perez, then Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, a second off of the pace, and Lance Stroll 1.2. So Aston Martin are clearly now about the 5th fastest car. Let's see what we can do starting from the front row. Don't know if we'll have the pace to match Red Bull today, but we'll certainly try our damnedest.
Welcome then as we take a step back into the nostalgic golden days of motorsport. Spa is unashamedly a throwback, and all the better for it. Climbs, drops, sharp turns, chicanes, sweeping high-speed corners, all while taking in some of the most beautiful scenery that Europe has to offer. This might sound like a travel brochure, but it's not. It's a race day. Welcome along to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners, and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high-quality racing as well. Simply put it, there's no place quite like it. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Mr. Monaco completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Russell, Perez, Norris, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Albon, Gasly, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Joe, Bottas, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Sargent, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me, a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend, Anthony Davidson. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not. Now, sadly, things didn't work out for them last time. It was a bad race. Question is, though, can they recover today?
Yes, they can, Crofty. You've got to put it behind you. Whatever happened last time, I was always told as a driver, park it, forget about it. Obviously, feel the pain when it happens, but then you can't dwell on it and carry that through to the next race. So put it behind you and just crack on with this race coming your way now.
Well, here we are, sat on the grid, ready for the Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to be starting P2, and then we're going to do a medium to hard strategy. Looks like the way to go. So, yeah, starting P2. Let's see if we can get a jump into the lead off the line.
And we're underway for the formation lap here at Spa. The cars begin their lap around the circuit that rises and falls through the hills of the Ardennes forest. As always, the fans are here in their thousands, and the atmosphere is incredible.
Well, the majority of the field are on softs, aside from 7 others.
So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right and which ones have got it horribly wrong?
Well, we will certainly find out. It's Max Verstappen ahead of us on the soft compound tires, so he will have especially strong pace at the start. So now we're going to pull into our grid spot. See everyone else around the final chicane there. Kevin Magnussen last on the grid. See the man with the green flag waving it. Now we are ready to begin this Belgian Grand Prix. Well, here we go then. 5 red lights ready for the start of the race. And it is lights out and away we go in Belgium. Get a whole bunch of wheel spin, but we do get a decent start. Can we look for a move up the inside of Max Verstappen? And he just completely turns in on me there. Didn't see me in his mirrors. I guess it was a pretty ambitious move from ourselves. But now, for the first time in 22, we're going to head up through Eau Rouge. Got to lift a little bit there so we don't go into the back of the Dutchman. And we're going to have a gorgeous run and slipstream all the way down the Kemmel Straight. We're going to go to the inside, and once we get to La Comedy, to make sure we stay on the racing line nice and tidy, and we now take the lead of this Belgian Grand Prix. We didn't get off the line in the second phase as well as Max Verstappen, but we managed to make the move stick. That second phase of the starts is just where we have been struggling. Get so much wheel spin, nothing we can do, and it cooks the tires at the start as well. As now we head down through Pouan. Oh, almost flat out in race conditions, but these cars are just so much more heavy with all the fuel we carry on board. Now through the middle part of the lap. Oh, on the throttle. A little too trigger happy. Need to make sure we get it planted safely. Now it's flat out from here all the way to the bus stop chicane. From Max Verstappen, and then Charles Leclerc, Perez, and Russell rounds out the top 5. So I go a little bit wide there, but no harm done. In the bus stop chicane, get it nice and slowed down. We go a little bit deep, but not too big of a deal. It's getting out of the power onto the main straight. And here comes Max Verstappen on the outside. DRS will be enabled this lap, so it is crucial on these straights now that we get this position. So now we're going to be behind the line at the detection zone. So can we have a look at Max Verstappen? We've already used far too much battery. Now as we head up through Eau Rouge, onto the Kemmel Straight again. A little tap on the back of Max Verstappen's Red Bull there. Almost go 3 wide. Charles Leclerc thinks about a move, but he doesn't make it stick, but he does on Max Verstappen. As we force Verstappen out wide onto the curbs, Leclerc says thank you very much. Here comes Charles Leclerc deploying a little bit of battery. Is he going to look for a move into the bus stop chicane? It would certainly be ambitious, but he is going to try to go around the outside, which will give him the inside for the second part of the chicane around the final corner. Now he takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Of course, Charles Leclerc is no stranger to winning around Spa-Francorchamps. Of course, taking his first win in 2019 around this track on the same weekend that he tragically lost his friend Antoine Hubert in Formula 2. So now we head up through Eau Rouge for a third time. DRS now active. Get the rear wing nice and wide open. And this is a marathon, not a sprint, as we can afford to just start swapping places with our teammate here. Whoa, get onto the gravel. But we are okay. So look at the train of cars behind us. We clearly don't have the pace to pull away. Whoa, onto the gravel. There goes Charles Leclerc right past this grass. Excuse me, no gravel around that corner. Now as we plunge down through Pouan, my tires are very dirty. And also starting to get a little bit hot, I can feel. Don't have as much traction. Now I'm just all out of shape. It's so hard to get back into the flow of things around this circuit if you lose it. Now, are we going to have enough to look for a run on our teammate Charles Leclerc in the bus stop, where he originally took first place from us last time out? Doesn't look like our power unit is going to give us enough. Need to make sure we stay in the DRS though, as is the case many a time this season. Seems nothing changed in that aspect. Down into second gears, we lock the front left, go a little deep, almost into the back of our teammate. We are all right. So now Charles Leclerc will want to be aggressively defending as we go down the Kemmel Straight, because I will have the advantage of DRS. So it seems my side of the garage wants us to pass Charles. We're going to switch to the outside, get a big fake on our teammate as we go purple in the first sector. And now Charles is going to go for a move again. We forced him out, and that lets Verstappen right on through. I have come here to fight this weekend, and I do not plan on moving aside from my teammate. Well, the team wants us in 5 laps time at the end of lap 10. Our teammate has repassed Max Verstappen, and he is just all over my gearbox, itching to get past. And Verstappen's tires are surely going to fall off soon, with his teammate Perez behind him. So now, as we head through Blanchimont, up into the bus stop chicane, I'm very nervous that I'm going to make a mistake and lose this race, and I need to get those bad thoughts out of my mind. I need to start pulling away is what I need to do, but this big old train of cars is forming. The way the AI overtake themselves and things like that have been tweaked with this new update as well. So not as many trains will form within the AI, which is good. They won't clump together like we saw. Imola comes to mind. And also, that reminds me, F1 Manager 24 is out now, so some videos on that will be coming very soon. But right now we're focused on F1 24 as I just got onto the gravel. Now here comes Charles Leclerc. He's not gonna go for a move. He knows I can be aggressive, and so can he. So early on in the race, he doesn't want to make a move unless it is a done deal. No risks. As no gap is starting to form in the field whatsoever, except ahead of the 2 Saubers. Whoa, good. Oh, good lord, I can't keep this car on the track, I swear. So now we head onto the back straight. Charles Leclerc is going to retake the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix once again. Can we look for a move going into Blanchimont? No. But we can hold it flat out. Maybe send one up the inside at the bus stop. Nope, not going to have anything in it. But here comes Max Verstappen in his Red Bull right the way around the outside of us. Ambitious move there from the world champion. There's a little bit of wheel banging between us, but no harm done. So now we are down to 3rd. We were 1st just a lap ago. Oh, another big lockup into turn 1. Usually I just run right off the track there. No harm done. However, it's not the case now because there are gravel traps outside of that turn now in this year's game. Are we going to have DRS down the Kemmel Straight? No, we're not. Which is certainly not going to help us with Sergio Perez directly behind us.
Okay, we lost the position. Trying to keep focus.
So now we're down to 4th behind another Red Bull. Has our race now fallen from fighting for the win to fighting for the last step on the podium? The clouds around this Spa-Francorchamps circuit have started to darken. There was a little bit of rain forecast for this race. We'll see if it will come at any point. As I'm going to check the weather report.
No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Alright, no rain expected in the near future. But that can all change in an instant. So I'm really starting to struggle on these tires now. They're not as bad as I thought they were. Just struggle in the traction zones. And keeping it on the track, especially through that middle section with the long chicanes after you drop down through Blanchimont. Or not Blanchimont, excuse me, Pouhon. Just really struggling through there, especially now that the curbs are gone. I'm so used to taking so much curb through there. as we run wide out of the final quarter.
Your teammate ahead, 2.6 seconds.
Need to make sure we stay with the cars ahead of us. Get on the power nice and early. We will have DRS down the Kemmel Straight, as will Max Verstappen on Charles Leclerc, so I'm sure he'll be looking for a move on our teammate. Not sure if we'll be close enough to Checo by the time we get to the chicane. No, we won't, but that would be a little bit of time lost for him, a little bit gained for us. Will the team want us to box at the end of this lap then? Onto a set of the hard compound tires. Can't complain about that. So now we are once again going to be in DRS range of Checo Perez. Max Verstappen not pulling away from us as much as I'm sure he would like. We are still in this fight.
Okay, mate, we're going through fuel quicker than we need to, so please let's ease off and make it last.
Alright. Team wanting us to conserve fuel, though I don't think we really need to. I think if we just keep pushing how we are, we should be okay. So I wonder which of the Red Bulls will be in at the end of this lap. Most likely Max Verstappen, since he is on the soft compound tires. Checo wanted to go at least a lap longer on his mediums. So hopefully in this kind of pit stop phase we can gain some time to the cars in front. Whoa, once again almost dropping it there. So difficult.
Okay, pit in this lap and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
To find the limit of the grip on these tires that are just different every lap. As Mark reminds us to make sure not to speed. Something got kicked up into our face from Sergio's car. Now we're going to peel into the pit lane, as is Max Verstappen. Well, a little bit of contact with the wall there. I've never liked this pit lane. We get it nice and slowed down. What kind of time can the team set? Oh, we're going to come out like inside Max Verstappen's car. That is so close. Glad the game ghosted us. So we are just behind Max Verstappen. As we exit out of the pit lane, we'll just exceed the white line there. Lucky not to get a penalty for that. Here we go then, up through Eau Rouge. Max must have had a slower stop than us, so we certainly gained on him. Now we're going to have a big ol' help in a DRS all the way down the Kemmel Straight. Gonna do what we did to Charles Leclerc and fake him to the inside. Can I hold it? No. Don't have the grip. Just so much understeer in the car this weekend. So we want to make sure we leave and enter the summer break on a high. And what better way to do it than by winning the Belgian Grand Prix? We're halfway through. Still lots to play for.
Charles is in for his stop now.
Well, Charles Leclerc now in the pit lane for his pit stop. Are we going to come out ahead of our Ferrari teammate? We just might, you know. A little bit of a lock up into the bus stop. Why am I struggling so bad through that chicane? Not exactly sure. Now everybody pits. I think we are going to be ahead of our teammate Charles Leclerc.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of it.
Yes, we are, but we're not going to be ahead of Sergio Perez, who we were behind when we came into the pits originally. So well played from Checo. Set a good lap time to stay ahead and not get undercut by us. But now, all that hard work might have been just for us to get DRS and blast right the way around the outside of him into Lecombe. We're up into second place. Now we need to stay with Max Verstappen.
Good job, nice overtake.
Which is by no means a simple task. Just trying to throw the car into these corners and be as quick as I possibly can. So we go a little wide there and get a warning for exceeding track limits. So Max isn't pulling away by an insane amount. If we can hook up a few perfect laps, we might get back into DRS range. We weren't close enough to Max Verstappen for DRS, but now here comes Checo. He's just gonna zoom right on by us in that Red Bull car, harvesting some energy down the straight. Whoa. I have a feeling that this race is gonna just fall away from us here at the end.
Yellow flag.
We got yellow flags ahead. Somebody's got issues. Is it Max Verstappen? It is! Race leader Max Verstappen out of the Grand Prix with issues. Sergio Perez has to slow down to pass his teammate, and I did pass him under yellow flag conditions, which is against the Formula 1 regulations, so I will give the place back. Now this has changed the entire structure of this race. Max Verstappen now is going to lose a whole chunk of points in the championship, and he's out of the Belgian Grand Prix. This has turned into a fight for the lead of the race. 7 laps to go here. So this changes everything. And now Mark telling me there's rain expected in 10 to 15 minutes. So we are going to be in for an absolute banger, especially if the rain comes.
Just follow the safety car. Don't worry about the target. Follow the safety car. Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Well, we've got a safety car now, I would assume, for the incident with Max Verstappen. No.
On Sargent. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car.
It's Logan Sargent, so something going on at the bottom of Eau Rouge. He comes out of turn 1, and yeah, he just kind of lost power. No smoke coming out of the back, so I would assume it's an electrical fault in that Williams car, and he pulls off to the grass just before the run up to Eau Rouge. So heartbreak for the American driver. And yeah, that is a safety car. We're about to scrap away with our teammate Charles Leclerc. Safety car came out. So now this will give us a chance to all calm down. I was just starting to stress myself here. But luckily, we have a safety car now to give us a chance to cool our tires off and cool ourselves off. Safety car is going to pick everyone up at the bottom of the hill, see if we can see what's going on. Would they clear up Logan's car? The American driver not having the best of luck here in Belgium, it seems. Now up to the back of the safety car, CrowdStrike Mercedes here in Belgium. It looks like they've already cleared up Sargent's car, but they need to make sure everything's all repaired and clear off the track before they resume this Grand Prix. The front tires getting a little cool. And make sure I keep them in the proper temperature window. I cannot for the life of me generate some heat into these tires. Just over 10 minutes time is when the rain is forecast, so it doesn't look like it will hit us, but it certainly will in Parc Ferme and maybe during the podium celebrations. But shouldn't affect this race. But yeah, as I was saying, I just cannot generate any heat into these tires. Sergio Perez is going to lead the field away. And we need to make sure we stay with him. He's going to control the pace. As soon as the safety car comes into the pits and the green flag waves, it is all down to Checo. We need to try to get past him early on here. DRS won't be enabled on this lap either. So that might just give us a chance to pull away. As there he goes, Checo's going to push through the chicane. We don't get nearly as good of a line through there, and he's already a second ahead of us, so I have absolutely bottled this restart. Just can't get the car slowed down into turn 1. Need to stay with him though. We're going to keep the battery deployed. Head up through Eau Rouge and get right back on it. Try to gain a little bit of time on the Mexican. Nothing really in it though. In fact, he's pulling away from us, so Heartbreak for us. Absolutely bottled that restart. Well, we've been pushing like hell all throughout this lap, and we hopefully will now have DRS on Sergio Perez ahead of us. We can just push, stay under a second. Yes, I believe we will have DRS, but now our battery's completely drained, so there is that we need to deal with. What's crucial is that we have that DRS for us to gain, of course, 2 DRS zones around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. So we did gain a few tenths on him down the straight. We've only got a couple of laps to go, so we need to make every corner our best.
Green flag.
We have a yellow flag. Somebody has issues. Looks like an Aston Martin spun, maybe? Riding on board with the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. He's got Lewis Hamilton right in front of him. And coming out of the corner, Lewis just gets bit trigger happy on the throttle, and then Lance clips the front side of his Mercedes. So that will definitely create a gap. So that is very unfortunate for the Mercedes driver. Lewis was doing pretty good this weekend. Now it's all become undone as I really need to focus up here. Once again, almost dropping it coming out of that section. Oh, now we certainly dropped back from Sergio Perez. 5 minutes till rain, but we are on the penultimate lap as here comes Charles Leclerc, going to try to swipe second place off of us. Look at how close he is. He's going to pull to the inside, going through Lecombe, and we are going to just fight it out now. Seems like the win has just fallen and slipped through our fingers here today. Need to analyze the data with the team over the summer break, see what we could have done better this race. Certainly, the mistakes I've been making haven't been helping. What I struggle with is lap time consistency. I can't be competitive lap after lap after lap like, say, Max Verstappen. Japan 2022 comes to mind, where the Dutchman won his second title. We're 1.5 behind Checo, and now 1.8. So no DRS for us. Let's just dip onto the gravel, our front left there. And now here comes Charles Leclerc, deploying some battery, heading towards Blanchimont. Need to make sure we cover off any possible line that he could take to try to overtake us. Is he going to launch one up the inside into the bus stop? No, he's not. As now we start the final lap of this Grand Prix. A little wide once again, just overcorrecting these mistakes. Into turn 1. Turned in a little early there. Pressure's starting to get to me. I did not work well under pressure like this. So now we head up through Eau Rouge, completely flat. These tires are not nearly as bad as I thought they would be. Still no pace for ourselves. So now Charles Leclerc is going to go to the inside. We're going to drain absolutely everything we have. Now he is going to get ahead of us just about as we lock up, trying to hold on to the position. And now we are down into third place on the final lap of this Grand Prix. Can we get back past our teammate? There's not many more places to overtake around this lap. We'll see how it plays out. Doesn't seem to be falling back an insane amount. So we take Pouon completely flat out now. Charles Leclerc will be looking left, right in his wing mirrors. See where I'm at, what kind of moves I will be attempting. So now there's only one more possible overtaking spot around this lap that I can think of. And that is the bus stop chicane flat out from here all the way down into the heavy braking zone. And we're just going to drain everything we've got. But now through the final chicane, Sergio Perez is going to cross the line to win the Belgian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is going to come home in second, and we're going to come home for P3. We should have won that race.
Good job, mate. Really, really well done. That was a fantastic drive. Bring it home.
Mark just trying to get my spirits up there, but we should have won this Grand Prix. We do get driver today, even though we finished a place lower than we started.
What a day, what a driver. It's victory for Sergio Perez.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field. And those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Well, 2 Ferraris on the podium certainly take a blow in the constructors for Red Bull, but especially to Max Verstappen and his championship challenge. His engine blowing up late on in the day. Big surprise to everybody. Sir Sergio Perez will be happy about that. Hasn't been able to match his teammate, and now this has let him shine here in Belgium.
Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Well, Sergio Perez wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Started 5th on the grid, finished 1st. So great race from Checo. Our teammate Charles Leclerc finishes 2nd and takes the fastest lap of the race. We finished 3rd. Felt like we had the pace to win today. Far too many mistakes from ourselves, but we will learn from those. Then George Russell, Lando Norris, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly, Oscar Piastri rides out the final points. Then Valtteri Bottas, Zhou Guanyu finishing 11th and 13th. So big push from Stake to be a little quicker. Kick Sauer, Stake in real life, but not in the game. And then, Lewis Hamilton finishes down at 18th after that spin he had. And then Logan Sargent, DNF, and Max Verstappen also having that DNF. So, a very good race from us in terms of the standings. Max Verstappen still holds the lead, but he does lose some points to us. We're 2 points separating the 2 Ferrari drivers. And then the constructor standings, we still lead by a healthy 40 points. So going into the summer break, we have a genuine shot at winning this Formula One World Championship in both aspects, constructors and drivers title. But we need to get our act together and stop making such rookie mistakes. This race was very, very disappointing. Could have been so much more. Still a double podium for Ferrari. Very good. We're heading into the summer break, so I'll see you guys when we return. Formula One will come back in the Netherlands around the beautiful Zandvoort circuit. So I'll see you guys then.